Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the Honda 400EX build. As you guys know, picked up this quad a couple days ago for $1,300. Got it home, walked over the whole quad, found out the solenoid was bad, and that the wiring up here, the neutral switch, needed to be connected in order for the solenoid to work and get power to the solenoid. So now, when you hit the start button, we should have power going to the solenoid, 12.5 volts to be exact. Everything else looked fine, the wiring looked fine. There is a new ignition up here, so we shouldn't have a problem with that. And yeah, we tested it with the voltmeter, everything seemed fine. Last video we were waiting for the solenoid to come in the mail and then the clutch cable, because we know that the clutch cable, last video, it melted to the pipe right over here, which is a common problem for the 400EXs. So we got the clutch cable, we got the solenoid. I'll quick show you guys the clutch cable. Alright, so when the clutch cable first came, I thought it was gonna be too short. Here it is. I mean, it looks really short when you hold it up. It's only like 3 feet long. But yeah, and then the solenoid is in the garage. We'll go look at that. Alright, and then here's the solenoid. We got the 1PZ, it says. It was the more expensive version of the cheaper kind, so they said that it's like remodified so that the connections are good in there and blah blah blah. But we should be able to add that, and that should fix the problem, I'm guessing. So let's get into it. We gotta attach the solenoid right to there, and then we need to attach the clutch cable and reroute that so it doesn't melt again. And then we can probably start this thing up. So first start, hopefully coming up. Alright, so first thing I want to do is attach the solenoid. As you guys know, it goes right here. It was routed with the black wire on the left hand side and then the 2 red wires on the right hand side. I checked the fuse, that's good. We're gonna go check my other quad and see if that black wire is supposed to be on the left hand side. Let's see here, because I wasn't too sure when I looked at it. Let's see, black wire. There's the solenoid. So both red have to be on the right hand side, you can see. And then the black wire, I don't know if I see a black wire on there. I'm gonna quick check here. Doesn't look like that black wire is supposed to be connected. We'll look up at wiring diagram and just check for sure, but you can see the black wire right here. Alright, let's grab the solenoid and try to put that in there. So we've got 2 wires coming out of it, pink and looks like red and yellow. So it looks like those are this one and this one. So let's see here. Plug those in. It looks like positive is this side, negative is that side. And then this one and that one connect to the other side. So we'll quick tighten those up, connect those up, and we should be good to go. Then we'll have to test her out, turn the ignition on, press the button, and it should crank over. Alright guys, everything's hooked up. I just want to check and make sure we're not grounding anything out. So we're going to take the voltmeter, go along the connections, and just make sure everything's where it's supposed to be at. So there's supposed to be 12 volts going to here. Let's check that quick. Yep, 12 volts going to there. There should be no voltage going to right here. Yep, no voltage going there. And there should be negative voltage going there. So, yep, so we've got 12 volts of negative. So, I think we're good to go. I'm going to turn on the key and see if anything changes here. Hopefully it doesn't try to start up the quad. Okay, let's see. Anything change? Nothing changed. Okay, I think we're good to go. So we're going to try pressing the button and seeing what happens here. Hopefully it works. Should be very interesting. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Well, it worked for a brief moment. So we had the connections all right, and then it fired for a second, then stopped. So it sounds to me like a fuse broke or something happened. Maybe it went into different gear. Huh. We'll check the fuse down here and see if that may be busted. I'm not too sure. Shouldn't have. Very weird. Fuse looks good. Let's see if we're getting voltage through it. That's really strange. Yeah, we're getting voltage through it. Disconnect that for a second. Alright, let's see if we're getting voltage to the solenoid here. Man, that's really weird. It just cut out. Alright, hit the button. Alright, so we're no longer getting voltage to the switch, so something is messed up again where we're not, when we push this button right here, we're not getting voltage to go to the switch. That switch should automatically switch that on and go to positive, and it's not doing that. So something's either messed up in here, maybe a wire came loose, or yeah, I'm not really sure. So we'll have to look for that. Alright guys, it's somehow working again. I don't know how, but try it again. Start it up. It's running. Holy cow. It's rattling for sure. Might be the cam chain. little loud. Out there. I don't know, you guys can hear that? I don't know, what do you guys think? Sounds kinda weird, like there's a tick on the top end. It's not smoking out the back end, so that's good. Alright, so somehow it started working again. I actually disconnected this and then plugged it back in, and that seemed to work. The solenoid just kicked back in, so I think the connections in here are just dirty, so we'll put some WD-40 in there and just really clean them off and then reconnect them. But yeah, so there's definitely like a ticking sound on the top end, either the cam chain or the valves. So that's actually a pretty easy fix. Either tighten the cam chain or adjust the valves. So we'll try both of those things and just check. But yeah, it fired right up. So that is pretty sweet. Right now, since we've got the clutch cable, we're going to install that first, and then we'll start digging into the valves or the timing chain. It's got a aftermarket timing chain tensioner on it, so I'm not really sure how to use those. It looks like you just tighten them by hand, but the heat shield's gone too on this thing. These pipes must not have it, which kind of suck. But yeah, we'll mess around with the timing chain a little bit. We don't want to tighten it too much, and then I'm guessing the valves aren't in specs, so we'll adjust the valves and see if that gets rid of that ticking sound. Alright guys, so I think I found the issue. The fuse was letting voltage through, but sometimes it would be like sporadic. Oh, why are there spiders all over this thing? Look at that thing. Gross. I hate spiders. Nasty. But anyway, the fuse was causing some issues, so I took it out and cleaned the connections in there. And now, let's see here. Look, we got the neutral light working. Let's see if we can crank it over. Yeah, baby. Yep, so it was the fuse all along. And then I cleaned up the connections, rewired some stuff, put the neutral light up here for right now, just so that we can see if it's working. Alright, so we've got the new cable routed. I put it through here, which I think is the correct spot to route it, and then that'll come up here. I have to look down here, route it into there, so we should be good. Just going to hook it up right now. Alright guys, everything's good to go on this. Clutch is all adjusted perfectly. Just a tiny bit of play, I think like a millimeter of play. So that should work out great. We're going to take up the gas tank now and adjust the valves, and hopefully that gets rid of that ticking. If it doesn't, we have to adjust the cam chain. Now we've got access to the valves. If I remember correctly, one of them was 0.004 inches, one was 0.005 inches. I'm gonna have to look up the specs again and see which one was it, the intake or the exhaust side, but we'll adjust these quick and go from there. So right now it looks like it's not too bad. Looks like everything's pretty clean on the motor. Alright, so intake should have 0.004 inches of clearance and exhaust should have 0.005. So let's quick check what they are. We've got the top dead center right here. Let's quick check them. Alright, those are really loose. We'll check these, the exhaust. Those aren't as loose, but these are really loose. We'll tighten those up quick. See 0.004. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Right there. All right. All right, intake are good. Perfect. Let's do the exhaust. 0.005 right here. All right, exhaust side is perfect. We'll put the caps back on and put everything back together, start it up, and see if that noise went away. All right, valves are adjusted perfectly. 0.004 inches on the intake, 0.005 on the exhaust side. Let's try to start it up and see if it still makes that noise. Alright, still making that noise. So we're gonna adjust the timing chain next. Alright, cam chain adjusted, made it a little bit tighter. Let's see what happens here. Alright, that sounds a lot better. not making as much noise. I think just a tiny bit tighter. But honestly, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty dang good. Not rattling too much. Alright, we'll adjust it just a tiny bit more. Alright, so I did a quick tweak to the cam chain, and it seems like it's a lot better. You can still hear a little bit of play in there, but it's, I mean, all these Hondas have a little bit. So let's just start it up again and see what happens. It starts up a lot easier now, at least. So it sounds pretty good to me. You're gonna have a little noise with any engine you have. The valves are perfectly in spec. Cam chain is tightened, and I made sure it wasn't too tight. I twisted the motor down below, and it moves smoothly. So I think there was just a little bit of slop in there. I think we're good to go. That freaked me out. Look at that thing. Nasty. Hate bugs. Ah, it's flies too. What the heck? Oh, jeez. Alright, we're gonna put the back seat on. The guy that sold it to me said it didn't have any ride time on it, so I'm guessing he didn't even break it in. So we're gonna let it warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then let it cool down, and then take it for a ride, just to make sure those rings seal on there. But we'll let it warm up for a little bit. We'll let it idle here, whipping the throttle for about 10 minutes. Alright guys, now that's warmed up, we're going to check the oil here just to make sure. I'm sure this thing needs an oil change, that's why we're not going to go too crazy on it today. And it probably needs an oil filter. So let's just check the oil here, see what it looks like. You can see it's pretty gray. Alright, all cleaned up. The net's really cleaned up nicely. Everything else is pretty much as clean as I could get it. So it just needs a lot of painting. The frame is basically the main thing that looks crappy. You can see all the rust on the frame. Right there, right there, right there. So I got some frame paint for it. You can see I got some new frame paint. So it should look pretty good when I'm done painting it. Alright, moment of truth. We're gonna see if this thing moves. Have not tried it yet, so it should be interesting. Just pressure washed it, looking a little bit better. But here we go, trying it out first time. Wow, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Well, definitely goes through all the gears. Really fun to ride. It's fun with the twist throttle. Kind of like that. And yeah, no issues yet. So, oh, is it leaking gas? What's going on right here? I can hear something. Might just be the water boiling off of it, but yeah, it's pretty peppy. Tried to do some wheelies, but it just spins right out because the tires are just completely bald. But yeah, cannot believe it runs. It's big progress made. We're probably still gonna have to take off the head and check everything, but so far so good. Really can't complain too much. Next video, we're gonna be painting the frame. Hopefully getting a seat cover for it, making sure all the bearings are good, and going through the entire thing just to make sure everything's spotless. Probably gonna do an oil change, new filter, put the other back wheels on it, maybe get some new tires for it, and yeah, so it's definitely coming along. But that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want motorcycle, ATV, or scooter parts, check out lap2.com. Lots of good parts up there, and I think that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. More to come on this thing. Until next time, we are